incredible. When our son went to see him in December, he'd been on a 26-letter board for 2 years, and within the second hour, he was on a keyboard writing goals for himself. My name's Crystal Johnston, and I'm mom of Daniel, and I think you'll meet him a little bit later. And he wanted to raffle off a coffee conversation with himself and his spelling partner. You could ask him anything. He would love to just teach you about autism or spelling or whatever you want to talk about. So it's a free raffle. If you hope you got a raffle ticket when you came in. If you didn't, just raise your hand. We'll get you one. And so we know who our audience is. How many families do we have here? Okay. Do we have any teachers? Behavior analysts? Speech language pathologists? Occupational therapists? Great. Thank you all. We really appreciate you coming. We're so excited to get spelling going in our community so that everybody can have their own voice. Awesome.
Thank you, Crystal, and thanks for having me back. I see a lot of familiar faces and some new ones, so it's good to be here again. I made the absolute most boring slideshow because I was telling them earlier I tried to use AI. It always starts 3 or 4 slides in, looking good, polished, and then I don't know what happens. So then I went through and just took everything out but the words. And so I think Pat might have helped me blow them up a little bit too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use them as bullet points because I don't want to read anything. These are very short bullet points. But I'll kind of riff off of that because that's how I work. I'm organized, but I'm also very impromptu when it comes to life and spelling and autism, because you have to be. You never know when you might, get smacked upside the head one day, So, yeah. So, presuming competence. You're going to get sick of me saying that. A lot of you already know the presuming competence piece, but if we're not going to presume competence, then spelling will never, ever get off the ground. And I've even been guilty when I first started as a speller. I'll tell you a little bit about my story, but of not always presuming competence, and then I look back and see, oh, I wasn't fully ingrained, and we'll go into what that means. There's like different levels of presuming competence. I've kind of put this together through my years of, okay, we're presuming one area, but maybe not a deeper level of the presuming competence. So we'll kind of go through examples of that. Pat, do I just turn this on, or?
Here you go.
Oh, gotcha. I just needed to tell you. All right. Okay, actually, let me move this out of the way. So all of this is for purposeful advancement, right? Purposeful movement is going to lead to purposeful communication. The purposeful communication then leads to trying new foods, doing exercise, or going to a baseball game when we never thought they would ever survive the environment of a baseball game. So it's how we take spelling. People see spelling online. I'm very guilty of this. I will humble myself in front of you guys. I put a lot of fluff online because it's easy. I had some banger lines today from my friends in the office that just, I get chills thinking about it because every day my life is like, this is amazing. Like, I'm able to just be a tool that anybody in this audience can become, to just share their voice. And there's just tricks and things you have to be aware of that help you through that process of getting there to the right way. So we're all working towards the spelling becomes everyday activity, no different than if your person was deaf, you would learn sign language. This is a tool for their communication. And then we'll get, if anything I'm talking about on a slide you have a question about, I think we can kind of go with questions in a moment. And if it's something else, just kind of keep it, we'll do Q&A at the end. But if you have a question about what we're talking about in the moment, I think it could be apropos to what we're doing. I'll take it. And so you guys just kind of go with me with the flow. All right, so presuming competence obviously starts with, I just recently saw a 5-year-old for the second time, and I actually have a video of one of my guys that I think might help some people that are just starting out. And when I see a 5-year-old, luckily I have kids, so I talk to them like I did to my 5-year-old. And as they progress, we just continue to talk to them as that age, but we never continue to talk down with the intelligence. And I think everyone kind of understands that. But it's hard, okay, especially, I know many of my moms back in Atlanta can't help, but you know, that's your baby boo, right? Like, that stuff's always gonna be there. But you can also presume competence, like, hey, how's it going? Let's get up, you know? It's like, hey, get up, we gotta go. It's like, be realistic, but also be playful and fun. You can do both, but presume competence, and then also talk to them at their age appropriate level. So if your teenager is acting like a teenager, be frank with them and say, I know, again, we'll get to the body part, but you know, I know that you're not showing me that you're wanting to do this, but we have to do this. It's part of life. We got to get through this step together, whether our body likes to do it or not. The part that I get a lot of questions is, how do they know how to spell? How do they know the alphabet? And I'm here to tell you that they've been listening since day one. Now, when they can actually start piecing the things together is still blurry to me, but they mostly tell me 2, 3 years old, they're realizing my voice is not going to get it done. I can't communicate like my parents do, or my cousins, or my brothers. So I'm going to start talking through Toy Story. I'm going to start looping on YouTube that says a certain quote that I'm trying to get across my point, but all I can do is hit this YouTube clip over and over again. So they're trying to find a way. They're navigating the world the best they can to be able to show us they understand the world around them. But to us, we just see these loops, the rope, the automatic, I'm going to throw myself on the floor because I can't do this one thing. And so it's our job to then coach the body we have to, this, again, part of life. We got to get through the hard stuff together. And if you think about all the families that have told me the closed captions on the TV, the radio that's always on, the TV in the background, they know the world around them. They unfortunately hear some very adult conversations that tend to mature them very fast. And again, these autistic friends of mine that have been able to communicate openly are immensely graceful to all of us. They know that we're trying our best, and they know that not everyone believes in them. So when we start talking to them directly and encouraging them, say, I know your body's having trouble, but I believe in you. I know your brain, your inner dialogue that we all have is intact, but you can't express through all the muscles it takes to get your voice to articulate what it needs to. Now, again, my wife is an SLP, but the big words in the arena, apraxia, dyspraxia, it's true. I can't tell you measurably on each person how much it's affected, but when you'll hear me talk about skipping of letters, and anyone who was spelling today, when they skip letters, say they need the letter N, they'll go to the M first, hop over that on the second try. They'll go above it on the third try, below it on the fourth try. And they can't, it's like this invisible force field is around this letter. And when I see that as a coach, I get excited, and that sounds counterproductive, but that shows me that I cannot get my hand to hit that. And I'll see it, I'll even push against their hand to get them to the letter, and you'll see their finger shift. And I don't understand, it's like the body refuses to listen. And so over and over again, we're going to do the spelling, purposeful pointing, slowing the body down. We're going to get more into that. But the apraxia, I see it every day. So if that's what it is and that's how they want to define it, sure. If it's something else along the same lines, it's universal. You got to kind of accept this before you can presume the competence, because there's a lot of things that the physical body does, that we just want to turn it into intentional behavioral stuff. When from my experience, from my open spellers, when they do something like hit me or scratch me and then immediately come back a few minutes later and spell that they are terrified what their body just did to me, and I'm sitting there still shaking, and they're apologizing to me for something they know they didn't want to do, but their body did it anyways. And Soma RPM, she's the OG of spelling, she has been saying, and I believe it because I see it, it is very similar, if not the same thing, as a Tourette's response. It's if you knew your cousin had Tourette's and you go to the store and he shouts in the store, you could probably just keep moving on, right? Because you know, oh, he's got Tourette's. If we treat their impulsive hair pulling or like grabbing a french fry off a plate and eating it when they know they shouldn't, and then all of a sudden they're back to normal, it's like that's a Tourette's-like response. It is very impulsive, very fast, automatic because they've learned to do it. And in a really messed up way, their bodies they feed off of it. They like some of these repetitive, like the licking or the gross stuff. Their bodies enjoy it, and it's one of those weird things. I guess we all have our quirks, but they can't stop their bodies from doing it. And we'll get into that because, again, I'll use their words. And analogies, they are amazing. They make my job to present this stuff to you easier because they use these analogies. Austin had a fantastic one today, and so did Jeff. Jeff had a really good one as well. I got some really good stuff that I want to share with you guys later. Okay, so in fast and repetitive, the loops, the OCD, it's all rote. It's all autism. I joke that, oh yeah, it's right there, the twin autism. Is I treat autism as a separate person and I talk directly to their brain. So like today, or even Daniel right now, he's on his iPad. I would talk directly to Daniel as he's doing that, no different than, I see Chris, he's listening to me, he can do two things at once. We all can do this, but when they are on their iPad, we just assume, they're not paying attention. Hey, Daniel, you gotta look at me. It's like, no, he's listening. Now when it's time, I'm gonna say, Daniel, put it down. He will. But it's because we've built this repertoire of stem, 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 get it out of your system, time to type. And then boom, 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 he's ready. And Crystal attested to this. He gets distracted, and we just let it run its course and come right back, and he's ready to go. So I let the autism run free when it needs to, and then it's like I'm trying to shut the gate behind him, and all right, Daniel, let's go. You know, it's like autism, stay over there. I need to talk to Daniel right now. Okay, so we want to talk to them, not around or about them when they're right there. That is presuming competence 101. So again, if the stop it is one thing I used to always say, and let me, real side note, I was 18 years old, fell into a family that had a 6-year-old kid with autism, and they had this ABA program in their basement, so I learned on the job with them, and a lot of my day was, stop it, no, stop. And my friend that I did that with didn't find his voice until he was 19. And so from 6 until 19, he kept hearing, stop it. And he finally was able to communicate. When he was open, that stop it doesn't help. He's like, talk to my body. Tell me, like, he was a hand biter. So when he was a hand biter and he was loud, he would say, I would say, take your hand out of your mouth, not stop it. Or like, hey, bring it down, or I'd help him, grab it, come on, bring it down. Or we called it the golf clap, do this, deep pressure, give me that deep pressure. So redirection, right? And it's not perfect, but this makes it worse almost every time. And that stinks because that's our go-to, right? Everybody says that, like, oh, don't do that. And I still am guilty, I still will say it. Especially if it's self-injurious, I will say, hey, don't do that. But when it comes to like the annoying things that they do, the loops, it's not helpful to just tell them to stop. Because they, believe me, they wish they could. All right, so 101, we never want to see, and I even let a little bit of it get away today because I'm learning with new people, but you never want to see fast, repetitive, or stemming on the keyboard. Anything fast is typically rote. There are fast spellers, but there's a difference between fast spelling letter to letter, our flow is going, compared to impulsive jabbing or punching at the keyboard, which is usually all rote. Slow, purposeful with the eyes to each letter and shifting and all that, that's what we're looking for. And again, the reason why Soma, who created this whole version, the original version of this, she says that everyone can use this gross motor where, it takes so many muscles to get out what I'm saying through the face, voice, neck, all that, that this is something that most people should be able to do. And even my most physically disabled friends can still get that hand, even if I have to adjust my board to where they're more pointing down. Almost anyone can do that gross motor. So we're using that big movement that's very slow. And I always, even though especially my talkers, right, the talkers they're scripting on anything and everything, I try my hardest to ignore what they're saying because sometimes it's really fun to listen. Like, wait, because you know what I'm talking about, the people there were a few people that I met this weekend that they're repeating conversations and you're like, wait, what was that? Like, what did so-and-so say? And so you're trying not to pry too much. But those same people will be typing something completely different and profound as they're looping on Toy Story or as they're looping on a conversation. And again, it is like Daniel's doing with his iPad, that they're talking as like this background noise to their body, to their vibration, that they have to hear themselves talk. If anybody's seen a like that thing, like JP used to do, if anybody's familiar with the telepathy tapes, JP, he would cup his hand, and he told us he was trying to project that echo, that vibration to his ear, so his head would feel normal. To us, it drove us nuts. To him, it was peace. And so to be trapped in that situation is kind of mind-blowing and hopefully humbling. So yes, okay, we are looking for slow. Rote language is typically always there when I get a fast talker that then tries to spell what they're saying. Any people that are trying to learn, you might run into that where I used to be guilty of accepting that fast typing after something they said. So one guy in particular, I would ask him a question about our lesson, and all of a sudden he wants to type out TODAY today, IS, and then the date. Because through years and years of the rote, repetitive stuff, he's learned today is. And it's like, that's great. That's not the question I asked you. And so they have to then stop from going to the T that they want to go to, today. They want to type today right away because that's what their body knows. That's what their body's been taught to repetitively loop on today is. No matter what I ask them, today is. It's like, okay, now I get it. I don't want that. And so then he'll go up straight to the T and stop. And when they freeze, that's when I got them. I'm like, there you are. So they stop themselves from hitting the wrong letter, then they start shifting and start answering my question. And it's like, all right, so we got it out of your system. Today is blah, blah, blah. What do you really have to say? And then if he goes for that T again, he's about to hit it, be like, ooh, is that what you want? And if they wanted this or the was their word, so they needed the T, they'll continue to spell it. But it won't be today because I kind of threw that wrench in their spokes, like, don't do it. And they don't. Now it's not perfect every single time, but over time, it works. So it's going to be choppy at first, and then the more you do it, where you stop that road, stop the fast. Bless you. It's so incredible because this is, again, I should let you guys know, I'm working with 20 to 25 different clients in Atlanta, and some of these are every other week. So I have a client base of 50 plus now that they're all doing the same thing, but in different styles, different sections, but they're all getting the same results. That is the data people want, but they refuse to accept anecdotal or situational data. I just don't understand how much longer they can ignore the same situation across the globe. How is my situation in Atlanta, Daniel's in Kentucky, Tito in Texas, Australian families, British families, all these families online are saying words that my families have said, I thought. I'm like, this is not a coincidence. This is a universal acceptance that we're finally putting together, and that we're refusing to say our friends are just not there. They don't understand. There's too many of them now that are saying we're here, we're listening, and we've got a lot to say, but we got to get some help. The independence thing drives me crazy, and I'm tangenting right now, but the independence is not going to be there for almost all of them the rest of their lives. So why everyone's fixated on being able to go over there and independently type when they have a communication partner who can be twice as fast and twice as reliable? I just don't get it. But that's my soapbox moment. I'm going to advocate for them because they changed my lives, and I'll open up to you guys probably more than I should, because I'll just be frank, I was in a dark place one time, and they brought me out of the gutter because of their positivity. They will change lives, no doubt. They will change lives. All right, so a lot of the, I was classically trained with Soma RPM, but also went through the Spelling to Communicate S2C training back in the day. And I couldn't help but just say, well, I like how that person does this, but also like how this person does this. So I started mixing and matching. All that to say that a lot of the certification classes you take are going to tell you not to touch. I'm telling you that you have to touch to get the motor modeling, but the idea is always to get them to do it themselves. But when people may see me grab somebody's hand, look, this is what it feels like to touch A, now you do it. And then they're supposed to do it, right? That's the muscle memory, letter with the eyes to each poke. Each poke has got to be good. My go-to analogy as a coach is I am a sports nerd, so baseball is my thing. I'm a batting coach in the cage with my speller. And you as parents, when you're on the three-letter boards and you're just spelling words together, all you're doing is putting it on the tee. They just got to make contact. And so when I come in, y'all been doing the tee work and you soft tosses, and I'm coming in there throwing heat, and they're all of a sudden they're having to like put it together, right? And they really got to start working. I've been introduced to so many body types and many open spellers that I can catch these little things that they show me, and so my job is to take what you've done and say, look what you can do if you keep going. And it's all through these patterns that they show me. All of these patterns are through experience and just undeniable, like you just did exactly what my other person did, but they don't know each other. Their bodies are completely different, but they show me the same thing on the letterboard. I don't know if that makes sense. I'll come back to that. There are just universal signs that I see that I'll immediately get chill bumps, and I'll say, there you are. I got you. There's that brain. Okay, so yeah, again, I'm a big motor model person because the motor model, the muscle memory, is what we need to be successful long term. Any of the sloppy flopping or tapping or jabbing, you got to catch early because it'll exacerbate to something bigger and very hard to follow. I've seen some very sloppy work online where the boom, boom, and if you're trying to put your best foot forward, you just got to clean it up a little bit and it doesn't have to be perfect. But when we're trying to share our good stories, it's difficult for some people to believe when you got some board movement or just a a person that is all over the place with their popping on the letterboards. So I'm a big stickler for like just trying to keep them as still as they can. If they're standing, if they're sitting, just for that calm press, then they can be crazy. Then a calm press, and then they can move. But if I can get them into that rhythm of tight, 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 move around, tight, 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 instead of this constant like trying to guess what they're, that's not what we want. Because it can be done no matter how much somebody moves around. I've seen it happen where they're, all right, go over there, move around, be crazy, come right back, and they'll do it. It's like you negotiate with them. But it's, you know, they don't, most of my, one of the biggest comments I get after a first session with people is like, I can't believe they sat there for 45 minutes straight and didn't. And one, it's the presumed competence, and two, it's typically I'm bringing a lesson at age appropriate level and flat out telling them, I know that your body's a little crazy on you, but I understand that it's crazy, and I believe in your brain, so let's get to your brain, do the spelling, that's what we're doing. And they kind of get it, they kind of understand that I'm on their side. Okay, just like I said, if your person was deaf, we would learn sign language. And it's an easy comparison because it's communication and it's daily. So I tell my families, it's like brushing your teeth. If it's got to be 5 minutes a day, early after you do your routines, just make it part of your day. And we're actually going to do a group lesson so I can walk you through what I mean. It doesn't have to be pressure filled every time because it can feel like that early on. And that's when people can get overwhelmed and kind of drop the ball, and I'm not sure if it's for us. And I'm here to tell you that if you just ease into it, not pressure yourself, get somebody like myself. There's so many good practitioners out there just to ask for help. Hey, can you watch this video, make sure I'm doing it right? There's no test on this. That's another thing I tell my people when I walk in. I say, listen, I'm not here to test you. I might tell you some random, sports and science and all that stuff, but it's not for a test. It's to use as a foundation for spelling, so I can get your patterns down. It's all about patterns and movements. And so the spelling base is the lesson that we can't skip. We'll get to this soon, but it all builds, that daily routine will build into this solid speller long term. And you don't feel like, it doesn't need to feel like therapy. It's not therapy, it's life. So this is just a skill to learn. It's a skill you can't quit. Like, want to be a classic piano, you can't kind of half-ass it, right? You got to really kind of work at it daily. And so that's what we're doing, is we're working daily. I'm also going to talk, we're doing spelling 101, but making it part of the lifestyle. We'll go from doing a lesson together, then, all right, how do we turn this into daily, using the letterboards daily, even if it's one-word answers. Okay. Oh, now this is important, and some people might get a kick out of this. There's a speller's method, S2C, and then there's some RPN. Again, there's many ways, but I would advise you to just, if you're a new family, look to that, find that lane, find which certification you might want to do, and just stick with it for a while. Try not to, there's probably going to be more. I've heard rumors of another type of certification, right? That if the more that we have out there, it's really just about, let's find one thing, let's study it, because it's all about getting to communication. There's different ways you get there, but some of the certification classes might be a little longer. Now, you got a budget for these things too, so like just think of that. You could also just find people like myself that don't claim one, that a free agent, if you will, that'll just, I can help you too, but I do think certification or a class is very positive for your journey. But I don't care which one you take. They're all everybody out there is great. Yes, okay. Accompanying practitioner is important. You got to have people just watching your videos, and that's another thing. Don't ever feel like you're being tested by someone like myself. My job is to just make you better. I have to pass my skills on to you guys because I won't be doing this forever. I enjoy this. I just want to help people. I want to show people that this is legit, and here's why. Here's the stuff you might not see behind the scenes, but It's changing lives. All right, so we're gonna do a lesson. This is fun stuff here. This is if nobody's ever heard or seen a spelling lesson or is just curious on how it goes, I'm going to do that with you now. And then this was somebody I saw today, had to sit through my solar system lesson. But it is my go-to because it's quick and easy, and I've done it so many times that I can kind of do it by heart. So I would come in, I'm just going to say you guys are my collective 10-year-old, okay? So I'm going to come in, Jake is your name. So Jake, my name is Austin. Okay, my name is Austin, A-U-S-T-I-N, Austin. And when I'm writing that, I'm typically going to look up to see if Jake is looking at my paper. 9 times out of 10, he's going to be looking at what I'm writing. But when I stop and spell what I'm spelling, and I call out the letters as I'm writing it, so I'm saying it, I'm writing it, he's looking, he's hearing, all of those senses are working together. My name's Austin. I come from Atlanta, Georgia, Georgia, state of Georgia. Draw a line. That's all he needs. That's all Jake needs. Okay, Jake. So what I'm going to do is, I told you my name, and I'm going to use these letter boards here. And as you can see, we have the 26 letters spread out over these 3 letter boards, right? And all I need you to do, Jake, is use your pointer finger, your big pointer, and sometimes I'll be like, hey, when I first meet him, Jake, give me a high five. And whichever hand pops up, that's usually, or ask the parent, right-handed, left-handed. I only have a few lefties. Jeff is a lefty. It's just an adjustment. You just, as a coach, have to adjust. But I'm going to tell Jake, I'm going to say, all right, so all I need you to do, again, I told you what my name is, how we spell it. Could you spell my name for me without me saying the letters? Again, we wrote them down, he heard, he watched. Without me saying the letters again, I'm kind of, this is the, we're pulling the recall, so it's a different part of the brain, to where he has to figure, all right, I know it's the A, but I'm not, so he's not going off my voice, touch A. I'm saying, what's the first letter? I believe you heard me, I know you watched me, I trust you, I presume in your competence that you know what you got to get to, that you have trouble getting there, so I might have to help you with my voice. And so you know it's A, I know it's A, again, I'm not saying that, but you know the first letter, where is it? And I'm going to wait for their eyes, Jake's eyes, to see what happens. He might start looking all over the place and be like, oh, okay, Jake, find that first letter. And then when he locks in anywhere on the board, I imagine that each board is a quadrant. And so when I look at their eyes and he needs that A up here, even on the 26 letter board, it's the same spot. That's why I like A's to switch up the boards. I'll hold the board up and I'm waiting for his eyes to go to this quadrant. He might be looking at, in this area, but not even on A, but he's looking in the right direction. That's my signal. Go get it. Yes, you know the letter. Go get it. So the initiation has to happen. So he's locked in, but now he's stuck. He can't move. So it's my job. I'm his GPS. All right, up in the corner. I'm going to use my left hand. I'm holding with my right as still as a rock. They've got to get to the letter. None of this locomotion, that drives me crazy. You don't have to do it because they can do it. You hold it still, and with this hand, it's your magic air prompter that you fade over time. But you're up to that letter. Go get it. And when his eyes go, yeah, and then you might have to give the elbow tap. Go get it. And then after time, he'll start moving. Jake will start moving on his own. But as Jake goes up to that A, he's got to keep his eyes on the letter as he touches it. Can't be doing any of that. That drives me crazy too. Even if they're hitting the right letter, it's not good for long-term spelling because they have told me through many different friends have said in one way or another that the muscle memory has to come with their eyes connecting on the finger. So they can't be doing that. But if they're looking and touching at the same time, over and over again, they get used to doing that. And then, because if they're getting away with, yeah, it is A, but you're kind of doing that, over time, they're still going to be doing that. In 10 years, they'll still be doing that. They're not progressing because they're not eventually getting that muscle memory that's slow and purposeful and repeatable. Positive, right? Everything is positive for communication. All right, so we...
Two quick questions.
Yeah.
When you write down on that board, do you set the board somewhere where it's visible?
You can. I don't mind if they cheat at first. It's like, I don't care if you look. The purpose is to get the movement.
Okay.
And so, yeah, sometimes I'll have peekers that want to flip it over. But I'll take it and put it behind me, and again, the second layer of presuming competence.
Okay.
I know you heard me. I believe in you. And if they'll show me if they need help. So, like, if they're really struggling to get to where I would need them to be, you have the option. I saw some today. The option of the mud flaps, which is you cover half the board, so the vision has to come up, and then you can flip it like that, right? And so if you need to scale down the vision, you can do that. And it's in your building, you have to build the accuracy.
With your magic pointer finger, do you ever actually touch the letter, or are you always just in the general space?
That's a great question, because I don't ever touch it.
Okay.
What I will do, and I did that a lot today, is when I see them like wavering or like tapping, I'll grab their hand very gently and say, this is what I want. Show them where to touch and how it feels. Now you do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I can, and you can, if someone is just, they are just can't sit still, can't do that, like, hey, right here, that's all I need you to do. You can do it. But, over time, I just say up there. And if they're all over the place, to touch, that's what it feels like. Now you do it. That muscle memory of grabbing their hand, it also grounds them. Like, there are so many friends that you might see online where you see the parent maybe just a hand on the shoulder or an elbow light touch, and it's because they say they can feel their arm in space. Where that's why a lot of the bodies are crazy, is because they say they can't feel anything in space. So when they get in a body of water and they're just floating like this, that water pressure touches every nerve on the surface of their skin, and they know where they're at. And that's why they'd sit there for days if we let them. But as soon as they get out and the air is just like, and they're itchy, and the squirmy bodies, it's all because something is internal that is driving them crazy, that they can't sit still. But my friend who's rocking, and right there, I love it because it helps, right? But then there's certain times where I will help my friend, especially with spelling. I have many rockers where I'm like, okay, find your rhythm. And it's almost like this game of double dutch, right? I'm like, all right, hold it, go. And then they'll spell, and then I'll pull it back, and they're rocking again. And then so I'm just trying to find my spot. Like, okay, show me, and then they'll stop, boom. It's like you got to catch them at the right time, some bodies. Okay, so I broke that up, and I ended up doing my name, but you guys get the idea. So I did these words here again in the lesson. We're going to spell these out loud as we're reading. So I would say, let's unlock the secrets of our solar system. SOLAR system. SYSTEM. And then for a beginner, I'd probably stop there and say, all right, what is our topic? Without saying it again, without saying go to the S, I'm going to say, what's our topic? I believe in you. We did this short little chunk of info. Did I put that in? Yeah, the info chunk. This is our info chunk. That's all you need. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots, and I didn't even capitalize most of it. You got tons. You could do like 5 or 6 mini lessons on this one paragraph if you're just starting. It doesn't need to be much. It just needs to be something, and something new. Don't try not to repeat stuff. They are so sick of repeating the same thing, especially educationally. When they have time to listen to different topics and different things, they absorb it. They love it. Okay, so going back, so we got my name again. So we got the A. All right, good. We're going to go to the next letter. Okay, the next letter, I might give them a clue. Again, if this is their first time, what vowel do we need? It's another vowel. But again, I'm not saying it. It's a recall thing. They know what a vowel is. They know that they saw me write my name. They probably already know how to spell Austin. So if they come up, oh, hit the T, oh, so close, next door, right next door. And then they might go this way, ooh, come back this way. And then they might hop, right? Oh, don't skip it, don't skip it. And when I see that, I'm like, okay, good, that's good. And then if they go to the S, and all of a sudden they go down, then I say, oh, okay, you're close. So to me, they're going the right direction. Missed it at the last second. That's a good sign. So if we move over here to the I, and I see those eyes shift and then go to that I, then I'm like, we're moving, okay. So then that's when, if I see a purposeful movement like that, let's see what happens with 26. Visual field increases, and it might really be not time for that. So you go on accuracy, and it is so important that we'll get, I think, probably talk about that next, is the accuracy's gotta be there. So the hierarchy is the questions and the letter boards. Okay, everyone kind of starts here. And again, most of you are familiar with this, with stencils, right? These are for our tactile friends. I was just telling some families earlier, Soma kind of created these. I've never been overly successful using these. These, on the other hand, have been powerful. And you can see how dirty, these things have been through almost a decade of spelling. And they work. And these I've seen many families be successful with these. I personally, once I discovered these about 3 years in, I kind of just had these as decoration. Because they do explain with the process. And a lot of my friends rely on that pencil, but they don't really necessarily need to poke through. They can just use it as a stylus. And then after this, we're mixing into, again, we're trying to get one-word answers at first, fill in the blank, Wheel of Fortune style, if you have to move up to this, the 26. And as we're building accuracy, you got to we're working towards high accuracy. Eventually, we'll get to the keyboard, which is, again, my wheelhouse with a lot of my friends that are here on the wireless keyboard to the iPad. And then now that a lot of my typers are doing really well, I'm trying to let them know, hey, this is great. We're getting a lot of content, we're learning a lot about you, but now I'm going to start setting it down a little bit more and start letting them try to get it independently. I'm here to tell you that for some reason, it really bugs me because I can't explain it, and it would make our jobs easier if I could. As we set it down, there is an unseen energy, this is my opinion, unseen energy that goes away. That when you're sitting there holding that board, you are investing your energy, which is absolutely real, into them, and you're forming this trust circle. And the letters are the magical connection. And so when my arm is believing in them, and their arm is believing in themselves, that's when the magic's happening. And I've seen it over and over again.
So is the keyboard just like A to Z, or is it like a regular keyboard?
This one's just a QWERTY. Yeah, it's regular layout. Now this one, yeah, the only reason that the letterboard like this is A through Z is Soma said that it was the only way she could fit 26 letters on a sheet of paper. And it's like, that's the most unsatisfactory answer I've ever heard. I thought there's like some scientific reason. And she's like, oh no, it just printed on the sheet. She's so funny. She's like, I do admire everything Soma does. It's just like that, something like that is so simple. And our spelling, everybody's version of spelling is based on Soma. So if you don't know Soma RPM, that whole community, please check her out. She needs more praise in our community. I've done this so many times, but it also made me a better coach. I tried to skip steps, and I tried to get emotional questions or personal questions way too early. And I fell on my face a lot, and I learned a lot. I would ask my open spellers, hey, this was so-and-so, what happened? They would coach me. They probably weren't, did you try going back, scaling back? Oh, no, I didn't. So again, you're building the hierarchy of our questions are these one-word answers, like I spelled my name, to then I might say, the next question is gonna be like, hey, remember I told you from Georgia? Name a state that borders Georgia. So you're presuming that they've been paying attention, they've seen a map probably 1,000 million times, but not been able to express how they know the map. But you have closed in their answer. Georgia only borders so many states, but you don't know which one they're gonna say. So that's how you start experimenting with open communication. Like, hey, you gotta give me a state that borders Georgia. So like, you might have to take a minute as the coach and be like, okay, let me get my map. They know what they're gonna say, but you have to mentally be prepared, and you tell them, hey, I only need the first letter of the state. Help me out. First letter of the state, but it's your choice. And then you go for T. Like, okay. E. All right. Now I got you. And then we go through Tennessee. Then I'll challenge them. All right. Name one of the states that touches the West Coast. So previous knowledge, previous exposure. They listen. They're so smart that 9 times out of 10, and they have told me flat out, not sure or don't know. To a super serious or deep question, I'd rather not talk about that, or not in front of mom, to where that as a practitioner will make you clench your butt cheeks a little bit, like as mom's sitting there reading it, like, oh no. And we'll get to that too, about the life changing things when I talk about the butt clenching moments. And I'll explain why I say that.
Austin,
Yeah, go.
when you're going on a question like, tell me what's around Georgia, obviously, do they need to be on a 26-letter board?
Yeah, you're right.
In
No,
order to do that?
Great point.
Or am I holding
No, you're right. But now you could say,
I write lessons specifically for 3 boards.
yeah,
Semi-opens.
you can do semi-opens here, but you could say, all right, G is for Georgia, E is for Tennessee, right? You assign them the things to touch, and so then it's up to them on this one. But I would, if you're on these, you probably are sticking to the one-word answers. And it's safe too. That's what a lot of the parents or new practitioners, you can say, type this, pull out a dictionary, pick a word, have them spell it. And it's intelligent, it's presuming competence, it's working on the motor. You're taking pressure off yourself of having to come up with a lesson. You're doing something, but you'll get the point hopefully with how you can turn anything into a lesson. Again, very important. Accuracy has to be high and consistent. Okay. Okay, so here's an example. I used to use this with my solar system lesson. Jupiter helps hold the solar system together with its gravity and orbit. Who or what is your Jupiter? So that has led to that was one of the first jaw-dropping things with an answer I got, was when he talked about his grandfather being his Jupiter because he keeps the whole family intact. But again, I'm expecting mom, dad, who's right there with me, and he pulls out his something about the way he said grandpa, and made the parents realize, oh my gosh, he's been paying attention. Yeah, you can never get there if you're just asking open-ended questions after a couple weeks. You're going to fall on your face, I have no doubt. And it's because we have to build the trust. You have to see the patterns. Everything in autism, what I'm doing is patterns, and they're universal. They all show across the board, no matter what the body type. It just might be more extreme than the other.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This might be a little bit off the subject, but what you've been doing over the last number of years, how does evidence-based practice fit into what you're trying to do, and how you're trying to take this to the next level of research and so it can be more accepted on more of a global level? Is that a good question?
Yeah, let's come back to that at the end, because I have a lot to say about that.
Okay.
That's a good question. Because we need it. We got to have it. I don't necessarily care, but a lot of people do. They need the data. But it's easy to get, I think, with technology. Starts with presuming competence. You can't get anywhere with spelling if you don't really presume competence. You can kind of say it, they'll see through it. If anybody's listened to telepathy tapes, the energy that they talk about is 100% real. They will know if you don't believe in them. They will feed it off of it. That's why when the doubters that are out there, I used to be a doubter. My person completely changed my mindset. But I had to humble myself and say, oh, I don't know everything. But it's some of the hard-headed people that just want to resist, that you can't really convince. And they will see that. They will always see through that person, as they're not out for the right things. They're out to prove that I'm stupid, which is sad. Okay. Okay, case study videos. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm ready for you, Pat. If you can you show me the folder, and we can, because this is where it's at. This is the real stuff. This is the, try this folder up here, Pat, up here. The one that I shared with you, that's one of them. Yeah, this one. Yep. Yeah. Yep, there you go. We can just start at the top with Andrew. So these are all Atlanta clients. This is my guy. Can we turn these off? So he's typing something as he's scripting. These are typically Disney movies. Bless you. So he cannot stop from the talk. I mean, his talking is nonstop through our sessions. So I'm reading, I'm asking him questions, he's responding, we're sitting there in between, all while he's talking. And you notice I have to stop him sometimes and say, read back what you wrote, because he needs to do something purposeful instead of looping. So again, wrench in the spokes, stop the looping, read what you wrote, and he'll do it. But then after a minute or two, he's going to go back to rote, which I just feel bad for him because it's nonstop all day. Excuse me. Okay. Barry. This is a young guy. This is sped up. This is the trenches, okay? We are doing one-word answers. Sped up because this might have only been like one word, and you can see he's just trying to type one letter. Me constantly getting the eyes ready. His eyes have to be looking, and you see it took all that time for one letter because his eyes have to be there. The hand, he'll distract himself all day. Mom's there, right? And this is just a squirmy dude that will slowly build into a good speller. And I'm constantly going, you got this, man. Look, you're looking right at it. You got to get it. Oh, you're so close. It's never like, no, that's the wrong letter. If he's way off, I might say, whoa, we are off. Let's try it again. But it's always like, man, you're so close. Get to it. You have it. The praise, the motivation, right? We're coaches. We're not trying to diminish what they're doing. Like, I'm sorry. I'll tell them, I'm sorry your body's acting up today. Not a big deal. Let's get the next letter.
Are you allowing to like hug and kiss my mom?
Sometimes she's self-aware enough to where she go, all right, I'm too distracted today. But it is sometimes I'll have to ask, like, hey, how about can you sit over here? But I'm also I like to desensitize. He needs to have his mom watching to learn, because I have a lot of parents that want to just drop and go, and I'm like, it's not really what it's about.
If it's better or worse, or you do some with, some without?
Yeah. Sometimes I can tell, like, mom is the trigger. Let me record. I'll get the video. You just sit out there, I'll get it.
Okay, one other quick question.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, the karate chop.
Is that just a reset?
To read
Or-
visual.
Or is it an error correction?
A little bit of both, because if he's just jabbing away, nilly-willy, I don't want that to become his go-to, just poking without looking. And so the karate chop is the reset of the eyes, and it's like, all right, time to try again. It's a reset of the eyes and the body to, okay, let's go for it again.
Would you pull that, if he was looking up like this and he's going, would you pull it before he had a chance?
Absolutely, your
Okay.
instincts are right.
Okay.
So when he's like doing this and going for that's when I will eyes got to be there, eyes first, and then poke,
Okay.
stuff like that. So Barrett is an example of he's also dealing with pandas. So that was actually a very good session with us, because typically he's up and down, and I think I have a few videos on Instagram of him running around, and then sure enough, when I'm, hey Barrett, come on, let's get some words, he'll come and sit and spell, and then we'll get back on it. Okay, Brett, if you will. Brett, similar to Andrew.
All right, so
Oh, actually, this is
today,
a combination. This is like a
just
combination of skills.
about
This is good.
perseverance, which we talked about in the past. We spell it P-E-R-S-E-V.
We're talking about the
A and C.
a rover on Mars, I believe.
Perseverance. You say it for me?
Perseverance.
Good try. Perseverance.
Perseverance.
Good. Perseverance, again, that's NASA. We talked about it before, NASA. But again, perseverance, P-E-R-S-E-V-E-R.
Again, I read it a second time just to read.
It's a robot, like a robotic kind of driving thing, R-O-V-E-R. It's doing its first climb ever around the rim of the, what they call one of the large craters out there, but we'll get to that. But first, I think we should start with spelling perseverance. How do you spell that? Perseverance. Starts with
I'm not even using the board here.
P. Good. What's after P? E. Yep. R. Good. N. Excellent. I. Good try. It's another vowel. P-E-R-S. A. Good try.
He's got the
What's
vowel.
that
It's a wrong vowel.
Top
So
corner of face right here. What's that? What was that? E. Good. All right, so we have Perse, P-E-R-S-E, Perse, good, V, back to E, good, Perse, V, after E is R, here. Okay, this is where we switch it up to, good pause, you didn't say it. Switch it.
so he caught himself. He didn't touch the E. He went to it, but he paused.
Perseverance, after A is
N-V-E.
Now that-
Now,
that's
who would say,
unique. That's
who's
very
in charge of Perseverance mission?
Not many of my
Is
friends
the
do
company
that.
involved with Perseverance? It's a government entity, right, with space travel? 4 letters. Who's in charge of Perseverance? I'll give you the first letter. N? N what? N? What makes sense? N? A. Good. Na. N-A.
S.
A. Good. And here's an easy one. Why don't you
So I'm working on an independent scale
Oh,
here.
what's the name of our plane?
So I'm making
That first
perseverance
one is
on the letter
right in
word.
the middle. Right in the middle, good. Just missed. In the middle, and in the middle.
We're spelling Mars.
Right there.
He's having so much,
There you go.
watch him
Skip it.
dance around the M here. Oh, we got it.
After M is what? Good. And A, right below that.
So this is an advanced scale to hold the letter board as you spell.
Right there, don't skip it down. M-A, what's our planet?
Oh, this is the
M-A,
R,
next door,
yeah, the
next
R
door.
you had trouble with.
Next door.
R.
There it is.
It's like I call it a speed bump. He needed like, he's like, and then all of a sudden, whoop, got over it.
All right, so we said it's visiting Mars permanently, right? It's kind of like its home. But they're going to visit a place, I said it was a crater, they call it the Jezero, J-E-Z-E-R-O,
Pat, you know what, we can probably go to the next one.
CRA.
That skill I wanted you guys to see, is that's like beyond spelling.
Eventually you'll reach
It's like the rubbing the belly, patting the head, and then adding something to balance. They take a step back from the full open communication. Pat, you can stop this one. We can go to the next one.
I'll recall here.
This is a great example of daily living. So I talked about the choices. My friend Kaylin has so many clothes, and we were saying, where's my keyboard? What were we doing? I think it was, K was keep, and then another one was on the, so we have K for keep K is on the far right, and then I had something on this side.
D for donate.
Donate, thank you, it's my own video. And so they're separated by a big distance, okay? So Kaylin has to give me purposeful movement from one side or the other. None of this wavering in the middle. It's got to be one direction or the other. So her mom's holding up the clothes. If she had asked her, she would have kept every single piece of clothing. So I'm waiting for the road to finish. She's not looking. She's hovering. Then I notice she's not, away. There are the eyes. And so her mom was going, donate? Really? And she put it over there, and then Caleb would go in. She'd go and grab it.
It's different. There's nothing different, right?
Yeah, they're the same
She
one.
probably has something, I'm sure.
Okay, cool.
That's kind of embarrassing. I'm wearing the same clothes. Hopefully that was the same day. I'm not very complicated person. I wear same Georgia and Brave stuff all day. Okay, the point being is that her mom would have just let her closet keep filling full of Disney stuff, and everything she was donating, she's like, are you sure? And Kaylin would go over there. She'd go and pick up a shirt, and she'd put it back and keep. And they're like, hey, you just said donate. And then she would tell us, yeah, donate. I'm like, all right. So I'd have to tell mom, all right, why don't you just go tuck that over there so she can't see it. So out of sight, out of mind. And she didn't say another word about it. She didn't complain about it after they were gone. She did the same thing with toys. Toys, she's a grown woman who is still just attached. Again, they're like comfort blankets, I get it. But when you have 50 stuffed animals, and she narrows it down to 2. And I thought, that's incredible. Okay, and then, all right, here's another one. Bia, let's skip Luke. Luke is just kind of, he's one of my buds. You can do Bia below that. Yeah, Bia. So this is Starbucks. Now, here's daily living. This is awesome. I told Bia, I said, I want you to choose whatever you want from Starbucks. It's on me. So I set my phone up. Because I knew I'd be presenting like this in one day. You have to do some awkward things to get filmed. So she's got her headphones on, she's got her iPad, she looks nervous, mom's trying to help. Oh, you usually get this. You usually get this, don't you? Okay. And so I'm just sitting there waiting, I'm like, all right, Mia, you see all the options. You can get anything you want, is what I'm telling her. You don't have to get what you always get. Grab the keyboard, slip it in there. It's like sliding into Mia's DMs. Here we go, give me a message. And the people, hey, these people were amazed. We changed their lives. That was great. They were like, what are y'all doing? And I got to tell them about spelling. And you know what? She got something that she never picked. And what did she do? She got in the car and ate it all. And her mom was like, I didn't think she was going to touch it. And she ate it. So that is what spelling is all about. Let's see. This will be the last. Well, no, let's do these last two. The moving around one. This is my 5-year-old. Make spelling work. I had to find creative spots to put my camera.
Alright.
This is like up on
So let's,
a bedpost or something.
let's spell, where's your book?
You can't stop moving.
Oh, I gotta read English.
I can read. He gave me a Vietnamese book. It's like I can need English. This must have been October. I got my Halloween shirt on.
Maybe we should go over here.
Yeah. Change direction. So he's got a swing in his room.
Alright,
Typical 5-year-old friend with autism. Books everywhere. So again, he's been seeing these books being read to him day after day.
Oh, here it is, cupcake.
Mom's not really thinking he's paying attention or
We're gonna go to
listening.
the next page.
He brings.
First, we gather our ingredients.
So we're talking about a book he gave me.
George, I see salt, S-A-L-T, and I see baking soda, S-O-D-A.
So a big soda. It's a smaller word for a 5-year-old.
Baking soda and salt on our ingredients list. Use it a lot when you're baking cookies or cakes, stuff like that. So why don't we start with spelling salt?
So I'm telling you directly, this is what we're doing.
Salt.
One letter at a time. I've already spelled them a few times before, so he knows what we're doing. But again, I'm just trying to find a good position to his right. I'm always to the right. That's the deal. So I'm just trying to get him to stay still for one poke, then he can move.
Salt. Ready?
Watch this.
This worked last time.
Got him stable, held his body back.
Yes.
Boom.
After that same spot. Up there. Good eyes. Good eyes. Yes. S-A. S-A. Next letter to it. Here. Stable body. A is not there.
So I see he's moving too much. I'm trying to hold him back.
L and last letter. George, you smart boy. S-A-L. Hold still. No. T.
Oh, this George. So that's all we needed to do. We did like 15 words in 50 minutes. 50 minutes, this guy sat there and was like, all right, let's spell. But he did this, and my knees were burning afterwards, but man, he was pumped, and Mom saw it, she saw it. Okay, thanks, Pat, we can go to the last one. This one, you guys, if you follow Walker online, this was Walker back in the day. Listen to the anxiety.
This one.
See me, I'm touching it, helping him. This is what we're doing. So let's touch the Y on this board. I'm introducing the field. Writing as we go, so he can see where we're at. I don't care how long it takes to get to the word. But that cake, squirmy body, I see that so much.
Buster Moon is what type of animal? What is Buster Moon? What? Buster Moon.
Now, if anybody's seen Walker's videos online now, he doesn't move like this anymore. He is sitting super still, super focused, and now he chews on the chewer, that like tobacco. So I'm correcting the body constantly. Gotta sit still, gotta sit semi-straight, and then you can move around. See how I'm prompting him up there? Over time, I don't have to prompt Walker at all, but then I had to prompt super heavy. And all right, we're a little off, let's scale down. Bigger targets.
Next to it? What is that? Okay, good. Let's stay here. Okay, now we have a vowel. Only vowel you see. Yes. What is that? Say it. Oh. Okay. Oh.
And it's funny, like I almost forgot about this because he's silent now. When he's typing, he's except for his chewing. But he didn't even do that anymore because he's flowing. He's giving me sentences before he could even get a word out with his voice. He's able to get out a full word. And so over and over again, they've told me, I know what I want to say, I just can't say it. And so introducing the slow poking of the spelling, building the known answers into semi-open, or the choices, and then into the semi-open, and then to the open. And if you fall on your face on the open, you got to come back down till you're ready. Everybody wants to jump ahead. It's so hard not to. Okay, I think I feel like I covered the basics. Is there anything that you would think of from your, any practitioners that are, maybe I missed something? I think I can probably open up to questions before, or maybe we can, we'll do a demo. What do you think, Daniel? Pat, do you have that document out? Yeah, the Word document. And maybe blow up the text so they can see. Here you go, bud.
And you get back. No, the cut.
Scooch, scooch, scooch.
No. I want to do alcohol.
Alright.
I want to do alcohol.
So again, just
I want to do alcohol.
every friend that would
I want to do alcohol.
come in here talking just like this,
Alcohol.
I talk through and don't even pay attention. It's yep, still connected.
I want to do alcohol. I want to do alcohol. Alcohol.
Do you have anything you would like to say?
No. I want to do alcohol. Do we do alcohol?
You got it, buddy.
Do we do alcohol? Do we do alcohol? No. Better or worse?
What do you think? You good?
I want to do alcohol.
Right? Are you good? Keep T-H-E, T, right, okay. T-H-E, B, S, E, these, N, wait, N-O? Okay, so we got some looping going. Alright, so we're going, alright, N-O again?
I want
Keep
to do
going.
alcohol.
These,
Do we
N-O?
do alcohol? Do we do alcohol?
You can do it. Bring your body in, there it is. N-O. N-O. Okay, right. Okay, thank you. Alright, we're gonna start from these. So again, road typing happens as well.
Do we do alcohol?
These, what do we need? What
I
do you,
want to do alcohol.
grammar sheet? There you go.
I want to do alcohol.
These. And I. Okay. We want that. I. N-I-G. N-I-G. H. T. Night. These night.
I want to do alcohol.
Right here.
I want to do alcohol.
Eyes.
I want to do alcohol.
Night. These night. These night. These night. M. M. Wavering, buddy. Wavering. Oh, okay. M though. These night. Take your time, man.
I want to do alcohol.
Come on, Daniel. You can do it. come on. Come on.
Do a good eyeball.
You got it. Right.
I want a good eyeball.
All right. Towards me. I got an M. She wants the M. M. E. E. T. I. N. G. S. Okay. A. R. E. R. F. I. L. Oh, L. E. G. Okay. Oh, I don't like the predictive text.
You know, predicting, yeah.
These night meetings are filled. Yeah. Was he typing that? Was that a predictor?
He was typing,
Oh, I
he
don't-
typed it.
I didn't know it was him. I was just following the fill.
He did fill until, like,
Yeah.
I predicted it comes off.
Yeah. Don't you be staring at that text. That's not good.
How do you turn it off?
I'm not sure. Filled. 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 T. O. 2. T. H. E. B. Filled to D. B. R. I. M. Brim. Okay. Filled to the brim.
I want a good eyeball.
Okay.
Do a good eyeball.
Turn around. If you're finished, you can tell me. These night meetings are filled to the brim. Filled to the brim. I. T. H. With.
Right.
That's right.
Yes, it is good. Oh, wait.
I don't like it. I want a good eyeball.
Okay. Filled to the brim with.
Do a good eyeball.
Turn the button. Yeah.
Do a good eyeball.
Filled to the brim with. G. E. G. E. Where you at, buddy? G. N. E. R. O. U. S. Filled to the brim with generous.
I don't.
Stay with me. Stay. I like the smile.
I want a good eyeball. I want a good eyeball.
Keep
I want a good eyeball.
it. You got it.
I want a good eyeball.
Generous what? You can do it. Don't touch.
Okay.
That's my microphone. Generous. Generous what? Let's lean against the chair, bud. Let me come to you. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me come to you. Generous. What do we got, Daniel? S. O. S. O. U. L. S. Night meeting, what was it? These night meetings.
No. I don't know it. No.
discuss priorities.
Oh. You gotta pick one. One. Just reach in and pick one. Reach in and pick one. One. Oh. They're stuck together? They shouldn't be? Okay. Let me make sure they're all. Okay. You found the one pair. Okay. No. So again, just like our spelling, like he's wanting to grab and all that, we're showing like one hand in, grab one, and if it comes up with more, we're gonna try it again. One, grab one. You got one? That's many. Just one. One. You can do it. Slide out one. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Wait, you got two. All right, so.
He'll take two.
We'll take two?
He'll take two.
All right, we'll do two. We got two. Okay. We have lucky number 3045574. Yeah. Okay. Winner number one. Winner number two. We got 30. Turn around. This is your moment. 3045519. Ah, yes. All right, here we go. We got your two winners. Thank you, sir. Job well done. Okay, before maybe I call Austin up, are there any questions while we're just kind of hanging and as you're watching? As you can see, now I'm really glad. I'm really glad that Daniel kind of demonstrated on the NOOO started, and I was like, okay, not sure what that is, but it's good that it happened to see that. I mean, it happens whenever, wherever. You just have to be aware of it. Like, it felt fast, it felt panicked almost. He was looking around, and then NOOO, delete, NOOO. So the pattern of like, okay, this is kind of crap. No, sorry. It's like, that's autism. Let's get to what you really wanted to say. And so that's kind of how I move through that. I try to trust the best I can, because I know Daniel's fully capable, like you've seen, of going through all that. But he sometimes he's got to clear the road. He's got to get it out of the way. I thought you were doing that. I was like, what are you doing now? Why are you doing that? Oh, okay. Was it still? How about I like being able to Pat, could you slide up the document to the top? Or sorry, slide the bottom to the top, I guess. Yeah. And we'll switch to there we go. Does anyone from the audience have a question for Austin? For a speller? Go for it.
Austin, I know that you like to read. Can you tell me what your favorite subjects are to read about?
I just realized that's me breathing in the microphone. I'm not sure what, favorite. I was like, what happened there? Okay, so the thing is slow to register. Save. Okay.
And why? What do you like about those subjects?
Is that me?
Were you trying to save it off?
No.
Okay, I'll just let it go now.
Oh, okay. Could you scroll back? Yeah. All right. And then where's my cursor at? Okay. Okay. Yeah. When you get there, yeah. Let's move on. Okay. It's like, I think we're a little delayed on the register of the keyboard there. Could. listen to anything. H. T. That. That what? Honor. R-E. V.
No call.
I.
No call.
No I.
No call.
L. Yep, I'm with you. Revolves.
You have the space where it should get there.
Revolves. I don't necessarily like that, but it makes sense. Round.
It's predicting.
It's predicted mine.
Yeah, I don't like that. Turn that off. I don't know, we can't, buddy, sorry. We're used to working off the iPad, I know. This is the best we got with our presentation. All right, ancient civilizations. Split that out a little bit. Oh.
Third is no call.
T.
Third is no call. No call.
So I think we are just truly open to anything now. Whatever you guys want to talk about with spelling or how to get started. Richard, you had said something earlier. Let's come back to your question. You talked about evidence-based stuff, right? What was your question? How did you word it?
Well, my question is more of, you have standards, you have a specific way that you're doing this. So when you have anything that's a specific way you do something over and over, that's your standards of practice. Standards of practice and this evidence that basically what you're doing is correct and shows improvement and gain in whatever you're doing.
Right.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
You're doing that.
Right. We should just tell everyone that. Right. That's
Call
well.
Osha.
Again, it's what I talked about earlier. When I hear stories from around the world, and they're the exact same stories as my family's in Atlanta, and similar to some of the stories y'all told me this weekend, it's not a coincidence. It's a pattern, and data is patterns. But because it doesn't fit into a graph and it doesn't fit into what they want, which is this asinine independence that for most is not ever going to happen, no matter how much independence on the keyboard they get. They might still have to live with someone the rest of their lives. They have the initiation is always going to be there. So the independence fight, I'm done with it. Like I'm done arguing with people, but this is how I change people's minds. It's like, okay, you want the data, I understand that. Come follow me around Atlanta for a week. Come see 25 different voices and 25 different styles and all different shapes and sizes, and then talk to the parents on how spelling changed your lives. And you're gonna get 25 different answers, all positive. And they're gonna also tell you what they stopped doing and what they used to do, but now never do. Do you have
I have lots of questions.
Oh, sure.
I'll try to let other people have them too. Any particular age as far as starting?
No, you saw George at 5.
Little?
Yeah, I mean, even at like 3 and 4, I would just have him touching that alphabet, or like that book I had about salt. It was like one of those pop-up books, and so he came and handed me that book at one point, and so I was like, oh, let's just read this. I know you've probably flipped through it 1,000 times. Your mom's probably read it to you so much, you probably have all the words memorized. Picking cat, dog for a 3-year-old, right? And then teaching them, you may know more than I'm teaching you, but humor me for a little bit. Let's just do these simple 5-letter words, and you progress as the age goes. But I think 3 years old is appropriate to touch letters. Maybe not get into deep spelling, but like, or you could just have pictures. You know, the PECs actually put real pictures, and you could have a, you know, say, hey, look at this picture. Like, let's show them. Let's touch this, right? And so you're just kind of engaging them with that motion of getting ready to spell. Yeah, and then.
Any recommendation, so if people are doing this on a daily basis, so you're trying to get a certain number of words?
Yeah, let me go back to that. That's a good point. I meant to add that to the slide of just, all right, how we do it at home. So you saw the mini lesson I did with my name. And the book with George was actually a perfect example of, all right, Daniel, if you don't mind, Austin, he mentioned to his mom today, he wanted to work on making a small cake. And so, wait, where was it going? I got lost in my own thought.
What the amount of time that we're practicing right now?
So Janet can get out, all right, Austin, we've got this whole ingredients list. She didn't have to read all of them to do the spelling, but she could say, you know, we need to bake for 25 minutes. We got to remember to add the almond flour, this and that. And then she'll be doing everything, blah, 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 and then maybe come back over, hey, what type of flour are we adding? Without saying it, right? And so you're turning that opportunity into a spelling opportunity. You filled in the blank. You told them what type of flour you presume they're listening. Now I just want to see how you react to the letterboard. And so you're practicing daily. Or later on this week, we're going to the dentist. Okay, DENTIST. You might be a little jittery and nervous about the chair, but it's something we all have to do. And warning them instead of surprising them is always the best option. And so then you say, all right, our doctor is Dr. Smith, and we're to get a teeth cleaning, CLE. So just like that, you turn everyday situations into a mini lesson. And so it doesn't have to go, we're gonna go sit at the table now, because then that could bring anxiety, but eventually they have to kind of, to get where Austin and Daniel are, they have to get some seating and some stillness going. But you continue to tell them, the reason we're doing this, the reason we're doing these little poking practices and these little words and all this is because eventually you're gonna be able to tell us what you want to do. But we have to do this. And I think I mentioned to somebody today about another analogy I like to use is the Karate Kid. So the 3-letter boards, you're wax on, wax off. You're learning all these techniques. Why am I doing this? This is very repetitive. This feels like therapy. But then once you get to the 26 or when you're typing, all of a sudden I'm like Mr. Miyagi, try to throw a karate punch at you. You're ready to defend it with this, like your open communication, because you've worked at these little poking practices over and over again for purposeful, positive spelling. Now, another thing about, I'm going to come back, but another thing about the positivity of the life stories is the butt clenching moments that I mentioned. Is there's one guy in particular who I've already mentioned, I'm sharing their story, so they won't mind. He has the pandas OCD flares, and he would have a lot of trouble coming like from the back of the room here without 15 minutes of picking up every little fuzzy or stopping by everybody's shirt and picking up every single thing. It would take him that long to get down here. And at one point, where they're going on vacation, they usually take him, leave him at the house for the majority of the vacation. He's a hermit crab at the house. He's in the middle of spelling with me what he wants to do on vacation, and he proceeds to say, I want to go into the ocean. And we're thinking, oh no, getting to the beach would be a heck of a situation. A week later, his mom sends me pictures. He's waist deep in the ocean, and he did it. And they said that he struggled a little bit, but it's almost like he put it out there and thought about it for a week. All right, if mom and dad get me to the beach, I've got to do this. Otherwise, I've lost my chance. And sure enough, he did it. Now they said when he got on the way to the car was like they had to get one arm under each, and they had to like keep his head up because if he's looking down, so like they'll get one arm under him and they'll kind of help him like to the car so he won't. They said on the way back they had to do that because he started picking up everything. But on the way down, he's like he had this motivation to where they're like, oh, don't pick that up. He did. He kept walking, and they're like, what's going on? What is this? And then he just kept going until he got in the water, and they were like jumping for joy. And that's just another example of I was in that chair like, oh, are you sure? Because you can't handle getting into any room without picking up. The beach is nothing but litter. And he did it. Now afterwards, I asked him, again, this is why I'm able to tell the stories, because he said, when I put it out there, I didn't want to waste my shot or something along those lines. And it's like, all right. And so then another friend, Kaylin, who you saw picking the clothes out, she had said they were on a cruise. What would you like to try to eat? And she said, I want to try that steakhouse because they go on a similar cruise. So it's the same place that they're familiar with. She's like, I want to try that steak Dad always gets. And they're like, there's no way. You will not eat. She's chicken fingers and french fries. And granted, she didn't eat a steak, but she had 3 bites of Dad's steak on that trip. And they said in the middle of it, she almost spit it out, but she kept chewing and then asked verbally for another piece. And then after 3, she was fine. She was like, no, I'm good. And they didn't bother. They're like, okay, you ate 3, that's all. And now she's eating salads. Now she's eating more than just that steak. Now she still has her routines. But her parents every now and then have to like, hey, you've had 2 waffles. You don't need another one. And she'll go and make something else. It's really cool. But again, 2 examples where I'm starting to understand, and I just kind of say it this way again, because I'm a full believer in this stuff that we cannot see, is that when they are typing it out with intention and with love and positivity, they're trying their best to put it out there. Like, this is what I want. This is what I hope to achieve. And I think by putting that pressure on themselves, I know I do it. Like, if I had text Crystal a few months ago and said, I think I'm doing it July, this or that, if I don't hit send, I will never do it. So if they don't hit send, letter by letter, and put it out there, they might not ever do it. And so when I get the question of the authenticity, it pisses me off because I have seen it change too many lives. Plus, okay, so this is the first example I use is I've been spelling with, I think, 7 people now for over 12 years. And I know for a fact, 2 of my friends who are physical with their aggression would have told me in these 12 years that spelling is not what they want to do and that their words are not mine. And then when I meet a new family I've never met before and they built this amazing speller and all of a sudden I have no skin in their game and they start openly communicating with me, I have no idea what their family life is like, but they're sharing these, like, and then I look at the mom and they're like, makes sense. I'm like, oh my God. See, I get chills talking about it because it changes people's lives in the best way. And I will continue doing this until everyone at least hears about it and sees it. Because if you don't see it in person, it's not the same. You can see videos and it's convincing. You can see videos that's not convincing. And that will deter you more than the ones that you see that are convincing. But you see it in person. I think Daniel had somebody today who saw it in person and it was like, and that's what I want. I joke, if I'm not making a parent cry within a week or two, a new mom, or even my old, that their person says something new, because I'm just able to help catch the words in the best way possible, that I'm not doing my job if I'm not making somebody cry. Because the first time I saw my guy cry, who brought me up on spelling, I cried. I don't know if that didn't make sense. The first guy I saw, when he spelled for the first time, I was crying like a baby. And it's because I knew him as this autistic friend who I think maybe he knows some stuff. But he would laugh appropriately here or there. And then when I saw him talk about Copernicus advocating for the earth revolves around the sun. How the hell do you know that? And him, it was not Elizabeth Foster doing this. It was her rock solid and my buddy, bam, bam, bam. And I was like, there you are. And that's what I say every time. Like one of my guys today was having a tough day. He paused for a second. I'm like, there you are. Like, I don't care all the other stuff that's going on with your autism. I could care less. But I know your brain's ready. And I'm going to break through eventually. And we did. Tough days are going to happen. And young bodies are going to be squirmy and out of regulation a lot. But the more practice and the more you talk to the body at their age, the more they can be like, all right, I may have a tough situation with my body not listening to me, but if my parents are going to treat me like a 15 or a 25-year-old, not so bad. I can go see a movie, right, that I want to see. Not a Disney movie that my parents think I want to see. I want to see young Washington blow up some people. That's another thing. We've had people like, oh, moms that aren't fully on board with the presuming competence. What do you want to watch for family night? And one of my guys said something like Friday the 13th, and the mom about died. She's like, how do you know that? It turns out his older brother is like a horror fan. It's like, so cool. How those little things. Oh, and a lot of my friends name the dysregulation as like an entity, if you will, which is kind of creepy. I guess it's a coping mechanism, but one guy in particular, he calls his friend, the same guy who has OCD, he calls it his passenger. And it's a very powerful term when he talks about the passenger. The passenger's in control today, and I can see it. So then we come to find out when this guy was in this middle school and high school years, his dad was a diehard Dexter fan. And if anybody's seen Dexter, he called his dark passenger. And I, as his coach, when I met him, he started calling it this. No clue. And he called it, I'm like, that's cool, he's got a name for it. And then almost 10 years later, I find out how he named it the passenger. And that's the beyond the belief stuff. And I'm like, heck yeah, like, that's, again, the chills come when I talk about this stuff because it's got to mean something. When I put it out there to you guys and you're all nodding and smiling, I know that it's clicking. Because it clicked for me one time. And so I'm just here to help you, if you're not there yet, just hopefully take that leap and believe. So with again, I'm going to go back to Richard's question.
My question is kind of more of a rhetorical question because
sure.
What you're going through is what I went through my whole life as a career. I was a licensed recreational therapist. We were always doubted for the things we did. It didn't make a difference in people's lives. I worked in physical rehab. I worked in mental health, and you got to keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
Because you know what you do is good and all that. What I did made a difference in people's lives.
Yeah.
And it's just that there are ways you can get to the point and get people back to the life that they want to live. And that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Well, and I have to also say that I love what I'm doing. I'm going to keep spreading spelling as in my personal opinion, one of the best ways, one of the best ways for people to get their words out there. But I'm also humble enough to know that I don't know it all and that something else could come along and completely make my job useless if these brain-computer interfaces start catching fire, which inevitably somebody's going to volunteer for that stuff. One, I think that'll prove what I know, which is their brains are intact. Their internal dialogue works just fine, but it's a motor issue, the motor breakdown. And once that happens, I'll be very, very glad. But and I think the MRI stuff, like functional MRIs of, I know that some people have been involved with some of the research, but even having people's brains scanned as they're spelling, I think will show a lot too. Because they're going to be showing the parts of the brain, the language parts, the reasoning, all that stuff working, and then they'll probably see what I would imagine the motor system is just like, like a mouse in a maze kind of thing, where I always do I didn't put it in this slideshow, but I have 2 pictures, and if anyone knows what IT closet looks like, so just servers in a stack, and all the wires are connected, nice and neat, bundled, zip tied, all that, that's our brains. Their brains are just wires everywhere. It's like all the stuff connects to something, but it's not organized, and we got to figure out how to, the neuroplasticity of taking the loopiness, all right, comment, spell, boom, boom, and then you can get it out, all right, get it out, come back, and boom. It's all, it works. It's got to be followed the right way though. So yeah, I think the research will come. I think unfortunately it's going to take probably some invasive stuff like the brain-computer interface stuff. I mean, they have people playing video games with just their mind. So I think that it's only a matter of time before an autistic friend donates their body to it. I'm excited for that though, because I think technology is scary and good. Now they got AI systems that are predicting bird song. Like, maybe they can, we'll figure this out. So maybe we just need a skull cap. We don't need an invasive like brain implant like Neuralink or anything. But anyways, that's kind of my thing on the data.
Are techniques that you use being employed in traditional schools for autism?
Not yet. Some people that take a leap.
How are they different in that age?
I'm trying to.
Versus what a traditional school does.
Yeah, so what I've seen one school in particular in Atlanta, the Connection School and Hirsch Academy in Atlanta. What they've done is just they've taken the special education, the education itself, and special education and thrown it out. They brought in normal curriculum and just placed it in there, and you teach while regulating 3 or 4 crazy bodies running all over the room, presuming that they're listening, and then you have to have organization within that chaos to come to the table and show that they know the knowledge that you expressed.
I mean, schools for autism specifically.
Yeah, I mean, the ones I'm talking about, the 2 I'm talking about in Atlanta are schools for autism, but if you're talking like a traditional ABA clinic, or you're talking about a school?
Schools.
Yeah.
There aren't many schools for that.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
all private, 30K.
yeah, I mean,
Private and private.
sure, but it's going to take the administrator or someone who's in charge of the curriculum to kind of take that lead and to believe in it, not just kind of, half do it. You have to really invest. You have to change everything and you have to flip the script on everything is what I had to do. And I'll tell you what, when I did it, every one of my people responded in the most positive way. Because I still had that doubt a little bit. I was like, my friend can spell, but I'm not so sure about you. And it was my buddy who taught me how to spell who said, you can't do that. You got to treat everyone like me. I was like, oh, that's presuming confidence. It's not just presuming confidence in you. It's everyone. I see people in the grocery store, and I hear some of that. I hear like Jeff's noises in the grocery store. And I'll sneak over there. And I'll just kind of walk on by, and I'm telling you, they know it. I'll just sit there, and that person will stare at me. I'm like, I'll just tell them like, I got you. I know what you're doing. Like, and it's just a gentle nod of like, I see you, buddy. Like, you be you. Don't worry about these people who are staring. I think acceptance is getting more and more. We've still got a lot to go. But I do embrace skeptics because I was there when my buddy's mom called me and said, you got to come see this. You're not going to believe it. He's saying this and that. And I'm like, yeah, right. Just like most people do. But because I knew him personally for so long and saw how troubled his body was, the loud noises, the hand biting, the big, you couldn't take him certain places. Like that just, I had to completely change the way I thought and humble myself that I don't know everything. And then my world exploded. Plus, on this side of things, it is so much more positive. I mean, the love they talk about in the telepathy tapes is so true. If you come to the table with true love and intention, you're going to hit out the park every time. And if you're out there to prove them wrong and prove that it's bullcrap, they are going to show you bullcrap. They're like, I'm not showing you anything. And then you'll be satisfied with it. Oh, see, it doesn't work. It's like, all right. And then I'm just sitting there going, yeah, it doesn't work, does it? And so those are the people that just won't kind of budge. And it's typically those that are deeply invested in one way that have to, because it's a leap of faith. But man, it has been a journey since I've made that leap. Yeah, I think that's all I got.